Welcome back to the Show Me Your Knits podcast. My name is Mary Grace, and I'm so happy that you're here. Today, I have to be honest, I lied to you. I don't have any progress, spoiler, on the things that I showed last time. We've got some cross stitch, we've got some quilting, and we've got a project that's done but also has some next steps. So there's a little bit to get to today, but nothing that you've seen before, other than a quilt, another spoiler. But I'm super happy to dive into this with you, and we'll just go ahead and get started. So starting off with what I'm wearing, I am wearing my Sadie top by Woozy by Celine. This pattern, I think I knit it in a 2X and it's super oversized. Um, Almost to the point where I could have maybe sized down, but I tested this pattern and I thought that I would just do it based on bust measurements. You never know. I really like about this pattern. There's a non-rolling stockinette edge. I've said before, I really like the shoulder shaping, which I always try and show, but then maybe the best way to show it was actually to just wear it. But I really love the look of this. I'm thinking of making another one of these in black using my um, Knitting for Olive pure silk. I kept wanting to say soft silk mohair, but yeah, I'm thinking about making another one of them, and it's part of my like de-stash endeavor because I think a black one would be super chic. This one is knit with Hobby Diablo. I've talked about this yarn a couple times on the podcast, but Hobby Diablo in the color 28 Stormy Sea. 40% acrylic, 30% mohair, 30% polyamide. It's super nice. It's not scratchy. I don't have a mohair sensitivity other than like when it sheds, my nose gets tingly, but I don't have a sensitivity in terms of thinking it's itchy. But I absolutely love this. It's like the perfect cozy weather day. I'm also in sweatpants, my favorite sweatpants from Columbia, quilted, super comfortable. But it's just a cozy day. It's just gray. It's been a long week. There's a lot going on. Yeah, I just needed something cozy today. I honestly just woke up like 30 minutes ago. We've got like 2 inches of snow overnight. It's gray. It's cloudy, providing the perfect light, perfect outfit, and we're good to go. So moving into finished objects, we'll go with, I don't know which one's more exciting, but we'll go with the cross stitch first. So I made this cross stitch because this is fine, but it doesn't just say this is fine. I had a friend, Noah, who reached out. He saw a screenshot of this and of someone who'd made it. It was like a screenshot of a Tumblr post, and he was like, "Do you think you can make this for me?" And then I looked at it and I was like, "Yeah, I think I could probably like figure out how that was done." I made like quite a few mistakes, thinking it was just like somebody's individual project. And then I posted the reel or a reel of the process on inauguration day on Instagram, and it like blew up because I think a lot of people are resonating with this feeling at the moment. And then someone commented, I had said like I don't know the original creator. I inspired off a Tumblr post screenshot. If anyone knows the original creator, let me know. And then the designer of the pattern actually commented and reached out and messaged me. I like got them tagged and everything, which is great. But Meta like blocked the comment from me for like 2 days. It was like a hidden one. I saw that I like had a message request and all that, and so the message came through just fine. But the actual comment, they were like, "Hey, I commented this is my pattern," and I was like, I didn't see it, so that was frustrating. But Screaming Hearts cross stitch, Screaming Hearts design. I'll make sure that they're linked below. There's a ton of incredible cross stitch patterns. Obviously, I could like look at this one and painstakingly figured it out, but they have so many incredible and intricate ones, including one that has like 4 bees on it that I really want to get the pattern for and try. So since I didn't know that there was a pattern for this, I want to pay it forward and get a pattern to do another cross stitch from them. But they totally were super kind and appreciate them reaching out. And then yeah, I guess I said a little bit, but that reel went really viral. It's currently sitting at like almost 800,000 views, which is like nuts. I've never had anything get more than like 1,500 views. So that's been a fun ride this week. Something positive and something to kind of like distract me from all the craziness in my day job. But yeah, just one more view for this. And we'll move on to the next thing. But absolutely huge kudos to Screaming Hearts design for that, and just a fun community building kind of experience. I like, love hate the internet internet love hate meta. I'm one of the few that like deleted TikTok, or maybe not one of the few, but I can't get it back, and I would have posted it there too. But it's been fun to have that take off. So who knows? Maybe these will take off next. Probably not. Just the ramblings of a mad woman. So, anyway, the next thing. Oh, I have another thing, another embroidery project that I finished since the last video. I've given it away since it was a gift for my friend that moved last weekend. I'll put in a picture. It's he was a trails coordinator that I worked with. It was one of the local trails that he worked on here. So I did the trail and I really liked it. I kind of want to do more trail maps. I think that it'll be really fun. But that's a finished object that I don't have. But it's been a big embroidery 2 weeks. I think I just needed something like a little bit different. Like I said in my last video, I'm feeling kind of burnt out about knitting, but I'm feeling a lot better now. I have some inspiration and some ideas that I'll get to here in a minute. But yeah, just wanted to touch base on that one. And then the only knitting finished object I have is this very basic garter stitch scarf that is, the knitting is finished, but it's borderline still work in progress because I'm going to be dyeing it with flowers. It's hard to get it all on screen, but I'm going to do that, and then I'll put the clips of that in this video so you can see it, but I'll probably do that after the works in progress section. But this is knit with Cascade Ecological Wool, Eco Wool. I feel like they had a name and then changed it, but it's one of those two. The color Natural, it's completely undyed, and it's not like bleached or anything. And then I knit it on 6mm US 10 needles. It's just 35 stitches across and then garter stitch. And the reason I'm doing this, obviously I knit like stuff that's a little bit more complicated than just garter stitch, but I'm doing this because I'm teaching an art class with our Public Art Coalition. I need to test the product so I can send them photos for marketing. So this has been a process because I initially cast on 50 stitches and then it was like this wide. Which could have been cool. And just to test the dyeing process, I was like, oh, maybe I won't rip back. Like, it's fine. And then I was like, no, I don't want to do all this effort and like not have something to wear afterwards. So I decided to rip it back. I was probably like 2.5, 3 feet in. And then it's like, I need to reduce it. And then so I reduced it to 35. And this is like kind of perfect. And because it's garter and it's wool, I know that it'll just like mega stretch. And it's already pretty long, but it'll just keep getting bigger. So excited to have this one off the needles and ready for the next step. I bought some flowers yesterday that I'm going to try, and I'm going to try doing just soak in water, soak in, room temperature water, whatever, and then roll up the flowers, steam it, and then soak it in vinegar, or maybe those two steps are reversed, but try and do it with just like all, like household items. If that doesn't work, I'm going to retry it with alum, but you'll see that in the clip. I'm just going to get some alum from our Walmart here and then use that as a mordant, but I think that I can maybe do it with just vinegar. Okay, I decided to take a look back at the tutorial that I was going to use, and I'm definitely just going to go get alum from the grocery store just to get a little bit more vibrant color than what their option produces. But yeah, I think that's all on this project, but so those are my 2 physical finished objects and my 3rd one that has already been gifted to my dear friend Bradley. All right, so moving on to works in progress, I have some progress on my Sophie hood. Yeah, Sophie hood. I made a Sophie scarf before, but I've never made the hood. I think, I took my markers off, so I'm to the point where I have, I'm ready to start doing the hood, like shaping part of it. And the way that it works is it's a hood with a little, the scarf wraps around your neck and then you tie. And this is for my friend Anna. So this is a commissioned knit, which is great. I love, love, love this yarn. And I think for the Wyoming winters, like the density of this is going to be amazing. This is Drops Air, a medium thick blown yarn made of baby alpaca and merino wool. The color of this one, I believe, is burnt orange. I think that's does it have a color on here? Color number 13. But I bought 3. I don't know if I'll need all 3 skeins. So if I end up with an extra skein of this at the end, that'll be pretty exciting. Or even a partial one. I'll have to come up with, maybe I'll just do like a basic Sophie scarf, like a little one for myself, because I really like it, and I think the color is just like beautiful. It's kind of clashing with this neon green I've decided to wear, but yeah, I really like this. Construction is, the same as the Sophie scarf for the folks who know what that means, just like increasing up one side every certain number of rows. I know that people try and be careful because it's a paid pattern, but I love the I-cord edge on it. Um, and I really like the end. Like, this is a silly thing, but I really love the like 6 I-cord at the end. When it tapers down. And I like doing the increases, but I like doing the decreases even better to get back down to there. And then you don't have to like count as much. But yeah, I think this is going to be super nice and cozy. I also think it's going to look beautiful with Anna's hair. She has like very beautiful, dark, long hair. So I think that this will be a great match. And we kind of talked about it because she was between a gray color and this color. And the gray would have matched like all of her winter gear, but this is just like a nice subtle pop of color. There was also like a very, very vivid orange, like maybe like this color orange, like super vibrant. And I'm like, do I want to make one of those for me? We'll see. We'll see what I get up to. Now that I have the pattern, I do really like it. And this yarn is super affordable. I think the 3 skeins of it was like under $20 before shipping. This is the second project I've done with a drops yarn. So I feel like maybe I've talked about this before, but I have often gone to like, I started buying yarn from our local yarn store, and it took me a long time to get like to machine dyed yarns. But I'm having a good time with like, this is more affordable. This is more affordable. And the yarn quality is great. I feel like I was just like, I fell in love with yarn that was hand dyed. But there's a lot out there. I don't know, really great quality that's not hand dyed. So I do still want to support small mills and local hand dyers, but that'll be after I work through my stash a little bit more. So, which I'll talk about in a minute. Moving on to my next work in progress. It's my quilt. I'm debating if I want to unfold it for you. As you can see, it's like never gonna line up. There's a lot of little mistakes in it, or not mistakes, but just like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like the audacity. I'm just like being brave and trying things. But I think it's for like a twin sized bed or like a lap blanket, but or lap throw, I think that's the right word. But it's like 4 repeats of this little of each of these arranged differently. So for this one it's like 3 2 4, and then the next one is 4 3 2, and then it just kind of like stacks and goes down. If that makes sense. I don't know quilt terminology. Obviously I haven't spoken much this morning. I've got a frog in my throat. So I think I said this last time, but I'm making this quilt for my dad, which is very special because he, like, my baby quilt, it's like a queen size quilt that my great grandma made, but he designed it for me when I was a kid. And so I have it just in the living room out there, but my quilt that I have had my entire life, like, he designed it. And so it's fun to be making one for him. I'm trying to fold it such that I can talk about stitching in a second. Yeah, other way. I did not design this quilt. It's by Susan Quilts. It's pattern 330 Woodland Forest. We bought all the yarn together at all the yarn. We bought all the colors together. What am I doing? Oh, there it is. We bought it all together on a trip to Washington, but we stopped in Baker City, Oregon, because one of my really good friends is from there, and she was like, "Oh, you have to stop and walk around downtown," and we were like, twist my arm. A little downtown we'd never been to, and then we walked into this quilt store because my dad wanted to look at the vintage sewing machines, which is cool. And then we saw this pattern, and he's like, "Oh, you should make that," and I was like, "Okay, we'll pick out colors. I want to make it for you." And he's like, "Oh no, I can't." But we ended up settling on 8 colors there. There's definitely like mistakes in it. Like my tension was super screwy when I was sewing here and all that. But I'll get more to that in a second. But it's we end up buying the colors. The brown is just like a poly cotton from Walmart, the brown for the trunks and the backing. And I decided to hand quilt because I just like the texture of hand quilted quilts. And the cream fabric is actually all from my great grandmother, the same person who made all the other quilts that my dad and I have. So very special. But I did, for hand quilting, we kind of went back and forth on what would look the best. And so I decided to do stitching around each of the squares and then inside the trees, um, which is really fun. I have a quilting hoop that I got at a flea market here a couple years ago and have never had the chance to use, but that's been super helpful. Going around the edges, it's fine to not have it, but for the middle, it's nice to keep tension. And since I didn't get, I should have just measured the quilt and then cut the batting and the backing, but since I didn't, I like tried to lay it all out on my kitchen floor because that's the only floor space big enough. It was all like sliding around and not exactly uh, the official way, the best way. I understand why people hang them up on walls and stuff now a little bit better. But so it's a little bit wonky, but love it nonetheless. But I did have to like fix some tension issues. Um, and so I'll have some trees that are like a little bit puffier than other trees, but I like it. I don't think that it's a problem. So he's kind of a perfectionist, so I'm a little bit nervous, but he would never be like, I hate this thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my other work in progress. And I've really liked it. And it's been special that it's like partially her fabric, partially things that we picked out together. Partially the Walton family. Just kidding. They didn't make the brown fabric, but yeah, I really liked it. And it's fun. On the back, I'm using just white thread. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna like unfold it again. Yep, there it goes. White thread. So whenever for my hand stitching, this is not hand stitch. I did the border with the machine just to like be secured. But I the white, you'll be able to see all the little triangles on the back, which is really quite fun. So this, I think I will cut to the fabric, the flower dyeing process, and then meet you back over here for plans and acquisitions. I've never done a throne to future me cut like that, so hope it worked out. If it didn't, it'll be missing in the footage, and you'll know that I failed. But I'll probably put in a clip about a learning experience or something. Or I should just not doubt my abilities and know that it's going to work out because I've done the research. But you never know. Anyway, plans and acquisitions. My acquisitions were actually just this drops air since the last video. The drops air and my Cascade ecological wool. I haven't procured any other yarn. I'm probably not going to buy any notions this year. I think between all of this stuff, this is just like a sack of needles. This one. I probably will have what I need. Planning wise, I have a friend who asked me if I could make a hat for him based on like a machine made hat that he has. Just that fits him how he likes and fits his head shape and size. We have similar, or I think the exact same head circumference actually. So it'll be interesting what like fits well to him. And I'm gonna try. He gets to go pick out just a fingering weight yarn, and I'll make something off of that. My other plan, I recently was given the Musselburgh pattern, the hat pattern, and I really, really think that I want a Musselburgh in this neon by Fiber MacGyver. I've had this since I went to um, the Twin Cities last February, so we're getting close to a year of me having it, and it's just like the most beautiful yarn. I'm like in a neon moment here, I think. But I have a lot of other single skeins, and I think I'll be able to make a Musselburgh with just one skein. So if it turns out well, I might do that and do some gift knitting. I'm also still Oh no, gone forever. That ball just fell. There we go. I have all of these bits. Wow, pretty good. Not the exact color, but decent color match. And I think I do want to do a ranunculus with this. I am gonna focus on my hand quilting. I'm not gonna ship that to my dad or anything anytime soon, but it'll be nice. I haven't been like sitting and watching TV, and I've just been running around and being constantly productive. And so I think that like sitting and working on, I mean, it's still productive to be working on quilting projects, but like working on the quilt, I basically have to be like sitting on the couch. And so I want to prioritize doing that. Um, but if I get to the point of needing another project for like during meetings and stuff, I think that this will be nice, or the musselburgh, and those are kind of my two more immediate plans. So we'll see if I cast those on in the next little bit. Like I said, I also am considering a Sadie top made in pure silk. That's a lot to do in the next few weeks. So next 2 weeks until I see you again. And I also still have my jacket and my uh, socks that are sitting on the floor under the batting of the quilt. So I've got plenty of stuff to work on. Hopefully the motivation does come back. Um I've really enjoyed working on the Sophie hood, and it knits up so fast. Like it's just in that thick yarn, the blown yarn is like just amazing. I will also say I packed up my Galentine's presents that need to be mailed so that I can get those out just like as close to February 1st as possible. But I'm down to three, I think three scrunchies. And for the Galentine's party I'm hosting, I'm going to need like 10 more, maybe. So I need to also decide what I'm knitting scrunchies out of my scrap yarn downstairs. So look forward to, I guess, for my own brain, look forward to more scrunchies, maybe a musselburgh cast on, and maybe a ranunculus cast on. So um, that is what I'll say are the plans for the next few weeks. Or maybe I'll just cross stitch and not knit at all. Nobody can tell me what to do. Yeah, the plan is to just keep making things with my friends. That's really all we can do right now, what we can look forward to. Also, I want to say hi to Claire because my friend told me that she watches these, and I was like, oh my god, I feel like only strangers watch these. But so, all that said, thank you so much for being here for my ramblings. It looks like this one might end up being sort of a shorter video. I know I talk fast. I also know I don't have 80 things. I also did this one with no notes. So, do you want to know? I don't really have anything that needs sizing. I'm making the small of the Sophie hood, but I'll say that in the next video as well, talking about the Sophie hood. Maybe notes are good, maybe organization's good. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like this video if you're interested in seeing more. Follow me on Instagram. I'm at showmeurknits. I post a lot about the knitting that I'm doing, but also projects and my day-to-day life. My dog, she's very cute. She hasn't barked once this whole time. She's so brave. But yeah, that's it. I think that's all I've got for you. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.